everyone. My name's Emily. I'm an environmental educator at Clay Pit Pond State Park Preserve, and I'm going to be leading Storytime for you today. Storytime is a portion of our Top Time Tuesdays program that's hosted every week at the Nature Interpretive Center. Are you ready for Storytime? During Storytime, we sit quietly on the rug with our hands in our laps until it's time to move and sing together. I see Iris is ready for Storytime. Fiona's ready for story time. Thaddeus and Pearl are ready for story time. Thomas is ready for story time. Lucy's ready for story time. Siobhan's ready for story time. Mason's ready for story time. Hunter's ready for story time. Anthony's ready for story time. And Andrew's ready for story time. Lily and Lillian are ready for story time. Everybody's ready for story time. Let's sing the hello song together. Ready? We clap and say hello, we clap and say hello. With our friends at story time, we clap and say hello. We wave and say hello, we wave and say hello. With our friends at story time, we wave and say hello. We stomp and say hello, we stomp and say hello. With our friends at story time, we stomp and say hello. Great job, everybody! This week, we're learning about flowers. Can you say flower? Say flower. Flower. Good job! Can you say flower with a happy face because you're so happy to see flowers blooming at this time of year? Flower. Can you say flower with a sad face because maybe you planted a flower seed and you've been working so hard to get it to grow, but it hasn't grown yet and it's making you feel a little bit sad? Flower. Can you say flower really, really loud? Because I think that there's a flower around here somewhere. And if we say flower really, really loud, it might come out. Ready? Flower! Oh, great job! I think I hear the flower coming. Here it is. This is a very special flower that grows outside of the Nature Center, and it's called a buttercup. Would you like to pretend to be flowers together? Let's pretend to be flowers. Flowers start their lives as seeds. So we're going to pretend to be seeds in the ground. Let's all plant our bodies in the ground like a seed. Crouch down and hug your knees into your chest and tuck your head in. Can you put dirt over yourself and plant yourself, seed? Good job. Seeds need sunlight and water to start growing. Can you pretend to be the sun shining? And now, seeds also need water. Can you pretend like your fingers are rain and you're going to wiggle your fingers and slowly bring them down like rain falling? Very good. Now, we're going to pretend to be seeds again. Ready? We got all the sun that we needed and all the water that we needed. So now we're going to get ready to grow. First, seeds will send out a little root called a radical. Can you poke your finger down into the ground like it's a little tiny root? And then they'll start to grow a sprout. Can you put your other hand in the air like it's a sprout with a tiny little leaf on the end? Very good. And after that leaf gets a lot of sunlight, that plant is going to start to grow. Can you pretend like you're a plant growing? Stand up nice and tall. Good job, everybody. Now we're going to sing a song about flowers growing. In this song, first we're going to pretend like we're planting seeds. So, can you pretend like you have a seed between your fingers? Good job. And then you're going to put it in the ground. Very good. Now we're going to sing a song and I want everybody to do what I do. Ready? The farmer plants the seeds, the farmer plants the seeds. Hey ho, let's watch them grow. The farmer farmer plants the seeds. The sun begins to shine, the sun begins to shine. Hey ho, let's watch them grow, the sun begins to shine. The rain begins to fall, the rain begins to fall. Hey ho, let's watch them grow, the rain begins to fall. The seeds begin to grow, the seeds begin to grow. Hey ho, let's watch them grow, the seeds begin to grow. The flowers start to bloom, the flowers start to bloom. Hey ho, let's watch them grow, the flowers start to bloom. Great job, everybody. Now we're gonna count some flowers on the felt board. I need everybody to sit down on the rug while I use the felt board. How many flowers do I have on the felt board? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pretty flowers in the meadow grew. I said, I bet they smell pretty too. I bent down to sniff, but they tickled my nose. Shoo! Oh no! Away one flower blows. Now how many flowers do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pretty flowers in the meadow grew. I said, I bet they smell pretty too. I bent down to sniff, but it tickled my nose. Choo! Oh no! Away one flower blows. Now how many flowers do we have? 1, 2, 3. 3 pretty flowers in the meadow grew. I said, I bet they smell pretty too. I bent down to sniff, but they tickled my nose. Choo! Oh no! Away one flower blows. Now how many flowers do we have? 1, 2. 2 pretty flowers in the meadow grew. I said, I bet they smell pretty too. I bent down to sniff, but it tickled my nose. Shoo! Oh no! Away one flower blows. Now how many flowers do we have? 1. 1 pretty flower in the meadow grew. I said, I bet it smells pretty too. I bent down to sniff, but it tickled my nose. Choo! Oh no! Away one flower blows. Now how many flowers do we have? 0. No more flowers. Bye flowers. Bye flowers. Okay, we're gonna sing one more song before we read this story. Are you ready? I want everybody to stand up and do what I do. Pretend like you have a seed in your fingers, okay? I plant a little seed in the cold, cold ground. Out comes the yellow sun, big and round. Down comes the raindrop, soft and slow. Up comes the flower, grow, grow, grow. Good job, everybody. Do you want to try that one again? Let's do it again. Ready? Pretend like you have a little seed. I plant a little seed in the cold, cold ground. Out comes the yellow sun, big and round. Down come the raindrops, soft and slow. Up comes the flower, grow, grow, grow. Great job, everybody. Now, normally, I would read you a story right now. And this week, for Flower Week, I would read you this story called Lola Plants a Garden. This is a great book about a little girl who starts a flower garden, and she takes really, really good care of it. And in the end of the book, she has some really, really beautiful flowers. So if you have this book, you should read it today. But if not, you could read any book with a flower in it. Another great book about flowers is this one called The Reason for a Flower. This is an older book, but a very, very good one with gorgeous pictures. And it talks about how important flowers are to plants. After we read the story, normally we would go on a hike together, but since we can't do that today, you should take a walk in your yard or your garden. And when you're doing that, you can pick some flowers. So, some flowers that you might see are these ones. These ones are called white clovers. If you find a white clover in your yard, you could pick it and smell it. And then, if you do happen to pick a white clover, you could try to press the white clover and make a flower pressing where you're going to be saving the flower. So, I have a big book right here. It's called Newcomb's Wildflower Guide. A very, very great book that helps you identify wildflowers outside. I'm going to take my white clover and I'm going to press it inside the pages. And then, in a few weeks, it's going to get dry and flat, and I'll be able to make art projects with it. So, another flower that we have growing outside, which we saw earlier, is the buttercup. I put some buttercups on a plant press last year, and this year you can see they're very, very flat and dried out, but still very beautiful. Once you press your flowers, you can make an art project with it. Here, I made a little bookmark with my pressed buttercups. I used sticky laminating paper, and I laminated them in between, and then I tied a string at the top. That's a really great project that you can do together with your family. Some other flowers that you might find growing in your yard are these ones. These ones are commonly referred to as Creeping Charlie, and they're a very beautiful flower within the mint family. You might see a bee visiting these flowers in your yard. Another really common flower that grows in people's yards, or even sometimes in cracks in the sidewalks, is this one. Maybe you know the name of this one. Do you know what this flower is called? This is a dandelion. Dandelions are called weeds by some people. Weeds because they spread all over the place. People don't normally plant them in the places where they grow, and they grow really well on their own. So this is a dandelion. Dandelions provide food for bees and other pollinators. A little bee bzz, 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 flies to the flower and sips up nectar, which is a sugary water that is down in the bottom of the flower. They also gather a little bit of pollen from the flower, which is like a yellow dust that the flower makes. Sometimes not yellow, but usually yellow. After the bee visits the flower, that flower starts to change. This dandelion will turn into this dandelion. These are the same plant, but they look totally different. This is the dandelion flower, and this is the dandelion's fruits. The dandelion's fruits. Each of these little puffs on the dandelion is a little fruit. It has a puff at the top, and then at the bottom, it has a tiny seed. Can you see the seed right there? So the next time you see one of these dandelion fruit heads, you could pick it and then blow it. When you blow the seeds away, new dandelions will grow somewhere else and provide food for animals like bees and butterflies that like to drink the nectar. So I hope that you go out in your yard today and you look for flowers. Maybe you press some of the flowers in a book, or maybe you just admire some of them. Okay, are you ready to sing the goodbye song? We clap to say goodbye, we clap to say goodbye. With our friends at Storytime, we clap to say goodbye. We wave to say goodbye, we wave to say goodbye. To our friends at Storytime, we wave to say goodbye. We stomp to say goodbye, we stomp to say goodbye. With our friends at Storytime, we stomp to say goodbye. Great job, everybody. Have a good week.